There's there's all sorts of people. There's people who are dangerous, people who are different. Not all men are the same. Not all Maoris are the same. Not all coloreds are the same. There's all sorts of people. There's people that are lazy, people that are dangerous. With criminals, criminals are dangerous. There's different types of criminals. Criminals that are dead, criminals that will rape girls. There's different types of guys. And that's how it is in the modern world. I got children. The person can't believe. There's all sorts of people, mate. All sorts of days in Africa. There's all sorts of people, mate. People, they don't understand headhunters. They don't understand foreigners. You know, I'm not a foreigner. There's all sorts of things, especially in New Zealand. It's like anywhere in America. Sometimes it's not worth it to get involved. There's all sorts of Pakia people. There's people that are on heroin. There's people blasting. There's people who hurt people every day. There's people who worship the devil. There's all sorts of men, all sorts of women, all sorts of headhunters, all sorts of Maoris. There's all sorts of things. You could have drugs in the vape. With Indians, there's all sorts of Indians. Indians from India, Mumbai, New Delhi, Trinidad, Jamaica, Bombo Clat. There's all sorts of things. Lion King. Let's be honest. You don't throw yourself at a foreigner. How can you say I'm a foreigner? It happens. Yeah, but I mean, there's all sorts of Africans. Africans that are dangerous. Africans that have changed. There's all sorts of people, mate. All sorts of white people. White people that have changed. There's the modern world. There's a lot of stuff. Vapes are dangerous. Poisons. The Indians on another planet. That's the sound of the Matrix. The person is throwing everything. So, yeah, I can't understand. But I can only do my job as like an African or like a normal person. Well, I mean, if you're smoking, then you could be smoking poison. You could be smoking poison from Mexico or somewhere. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. If it doesn't exist, then you make an episode for your children, for yourself, for your family and friends. If you live in a world, then you think about where you are. No matter who the higher power is, but probably you forcing people. But yeah, I mean, okay, one day it's populated, one day it's not populated. You're worried about the cemetery. Like everything across the universe is worried about the cemetery. Like if you're doing something you can't remember, then you could be in danger of a Pakia woman, a woman that's worse than a racist from South Africa. Okay, it's a shit high school. Okay, you're in a struggle. Yeah, but then what's a local colored community to do? So I guess you're forcing people, but I don't think it's over. You know what I mean? It could be a colored person, it could be my daughter. Yeah, but that's how women are. You need a woman to speak for women. You need somebody to speak for Maori people. Well, if you at least learn about Africans. Well, Africans, they could be hundreds and millions in New Zealand. It's not that bad. It's just you go in for important African and you allow in something that's a spider web, which could be my daughter. I'm a grown-up man. I'm living with bitches, which could be anything if you don't understand women, which probably the person don't understand. It doesn't exist. Which could be not something on TikTok. If you're living on Drug Street, then you need to smoke. Well, that's how biker gangs feel. Well, a good biker gang. So you can't be a nobody. Well, everyone's got family, right? But I mean, if you're trapped or something, so then it's not loud. Well, you're supposed to be playing loud music. Well, I mean, African rap music or something. Well, don't ask an important African. Africans got billions of dollars, trillions of dollars from the economics. Well, the economics, Africa's changed. Well, Africa's changing fast than anything. So is New Zealand. Of course, it's different. Well, it's very different. You live with something that somebody's on drugs, worried about skinny white girls. So everyone's in danger. So then you take a risk. Like everyone takes a risk. I have to take a risk. Children must take a risk. You take a risk, like the society you enslaving is the very epitome of the matrix, is the ultimate slavery. You know what I mean? You got women, you got islanders that are primitive, not coconuts or something. It's different from a fob. It's different from a Uyghur. It's different from a white person. Well, then if there's any difference, then you do it in the first place, not at the bitter end. The bitter end, when you got children and bills and all sorts of things. You got life on TikTok of all stupid things with somebody eating puppies or something. That's the sound of the Matrix. The Matrix got our children. Like everybody's children, they think about dick, you know what I mean? That's how women are. That's why you must be in a relationship. Not all men are the same. I could be the murderer. If you're mistaken the leader or for somebody that's taken over your brain, then you're in a lot of danger. Well, criminals got trillions of dollars. So they have that technology, but they're not worried. So why are you worried? So then you might as well as enjoy yourself. Health benefits. Circulate in your blood. You can learn English. The difference between a normal African or important African or trying to defend yourself or explain yourself, just in case you're going to remand. So you don't throw yourself at Lion King or try to interfere like that. That happens all over Africa. All over Africa, we get all sorts of things. Africa's a monster. So's Polynesia. So's China, India, and all these people have been living for billions of years, which doesn't work with the modern world. You've been living like that for billions of years, and you don't even have a pipe or something. So then you can't worry about skinny white girls. So you can't do something that doesn't exist. If it doesn't exist, then you shouldn't throw yourself at Africans. Then Africans are numerous. The mathematics won't work out. You're outnumbered in an African world, a world full of colored people, where possibly the person doesn't understand. Africans, they're different. There's different types of Africans. The bad ones, the ones that are dangerous, and the ones who don't listen to you. They listen to the leader of Africans, which happens all over Nigeria, all over Jamaica or something, all over America. There's people that throw themselves at Africans like it's going to make a difference for all the skinny white girls or whatever. If you have episodes of especially white bullshit is misunderstood by the same Africans. That's why they need brains. But with no brains, then you stuck, right? So if you have episodes, well, then you've got to make episodes for the empire, which could be the universe. Well, if you don't travel the empire, how can you be the emperor? So if you're not available, then you can't be available at the pad, or you can't be available at the shadow, or something like that. Which doesn't work if you're injecting heroin or sniffing coke. It's not like smoking drugs. If you're smoking drugs, it's the energy to change the world, energy to build a universe. Without the energy, then you shouldn't be talking about skinny white girls, because you're just doing something, you're talking a load of shit. Because we starting with 70 billion, we've got trillions of dollars in South Africa. That doesn't go for white people. Of course they're racist. Goes for Africans. You get black Africans, brown Africans, and Africans that's not going to join anybody else. That's your problem, mate. You're living in the ancient world without adopting the modern twist. The twist like what you dream about. You dream about all these devil-worshipping zombies. You're dreaming about the police. You're dreaming about destroying Russia. You're dreaming, so he hoax you. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, you're dreaming about, it's not a vacation. It's a trip, so you get out of Lion King. I wouldn't mind my property and stuff. But yeah, if you got your episodes, so then surely the jungle must get episodes. But then what's the point of smoking if you're coming from TikTok to our business is never going to work out. We make 70 billion a week, trillions of dollars from that stuff, not just from the benefit. You got to earn your benefit. What's the benefit? You're dreaming about cancelling the benefit. Your benefit is cancelled. Anyone can go to the government. Government is colorblind. They deaf. They go for the foreigner. They go for the important person. Anyone can stand up. Anyone can talk. But can you live in the Skrilla? Can you live in Lion King? Is a difference between a lot of shit in India you don't understand. Yeah, India got problems, India, but nothing like cartels. Nothing like Mexicans. They got nothing like biker gangs. It's a whole different kettle. They got nothing on us. We got to start off 70 billion a week. You lose the economic war. In a lot of things, instead of focusing on yourself, learn about your enemy. Learn about the world. That will make you the brains. Then you can talk like that. Then you can walk around like that. Then you can try to have American stuff. You see, you've got all sorts of things. You've got soldier ants, worker ants, nurse ants, feeder ants, growing ants, things they don't tell you about. Because that's the difference with the Illuminati. Secret society is better for everybody if you have an episode. So they make an episode. Because the internet, who cares about views? If you're worried about views, then you shouldn't be sucking a dick or something, or trying to sell women. You got repercussions, problems like any empire, like a computer game or something. It's a game to the government, because the government is up here, you down here with Ant-Man. So the government is too high above, but the shadow is this far away from you. You can't beat the shadow. Well, not many things in the universe. If you up here and the people are down here, that's the problem with all these vampires and all these people. They don't understand the mentality of headhunters. They don't know what's popular. They don't understand the rebels. They don't understand the modern Polynesian people. What they understand is something like you can do something, but you can't do something without electricity or without all these things. The matrix is dangerous because it's got our children. Everyone's got children. Well, if you need a woman, then you can't understand. Men are different. You get young men, wild men that need discipline. Without discipline, then you can't fight with headhunters, because headhunters is millions. There's the most popular gang now, more popular than anything, because they go one-sided. They don't go with those gangs. Those gangs have failed already. They failed. They failed when they smoking that stuff. That stuff is so dangerous. It's like women sell themselves. Police smoke it. Africans, governments failed. You know what I mean? India has failed. That thing is a lifestyle. It's not a decision. It's you're born into that thing. So if you're going to mess with that thing, don't throw yourself. If you want to stop that stuff, you do it with money. What money is like something in the universe, like Star Wars or something. It's trying to levitate, you know what I mean? Without trying to understand. There's rules in Star Wars. You can't try to copy that person. You can't do that. That's what the aliens said on television. It's on television. Well, that's the stupidity of Indians. You know what I mean? They go after the wrong African. And repeating yourself like everybody else. What Africans, it's not different from a Maori or something. Well, you're already an African. Well, you already got problems. Well, I mean, you can see on TikTok. So you rather try to think like at least not the cops. The cops are bombo clats. How can you listen to a bombo clat? You rather be the vigilante, you know what I mean? It sounds stupid. But yeah, that's the ancient world. Which possibly in the modern world it exists. It could be a poltergeist. It could be the Matrix. It could be nigger criminals. Yeah, but who's the leader of these criminals? Is your problem, mate. For Africans, it happens every day in Joburg. Every day in Jamaica. Every day in Auckland City. It's just you don't want to accept it. You can't accept it at the bitter end. and try to put white people against 600 million. Come on, you shy of even a rack of eggs, mate. You shouldn't even be thinking of that in a thing like that, mate. Which happens all over Africa. Africa, you get a different type of Africa. A rotten Africa and a Africa that don't listen to you. You get a different type of New Zealand. A New Zealand you need to listen to and all sorts of things in life. It's about being available. It's the most important thing. In order to have money, then you need to be like a normal colored person. Not like a Pakia or somebody. You need to think of the health benefits. Yeah, it's a distraction, a good distraction. Distraction from the bugaboos, all the problems, the possums, the fleas, spicy people, all scam artists, which are dangerous. You win, you lose. You can't win all the time. If you want to live in reality, it's a fundamental of the universe. Well, if you want to live in a colored society, you get all sorts of colors. Bugaboos, top members, bottom members, like a matriarch is hyenas. That's a separate type of bitch, mate. Another type of coconut bitch that you can't sleep with unless you're the champion is another type of piece of meat. Whether it's New Zealand or Africa, you get good people everywhere. Millionaires, billionaires. But if you want to be original, then you go for the higher power. That's what will tell your life. Or learn English. You can learn from things you don't understand. Just because the person is stupid to you doesn't mean it's not important. How many comics, movies got the things you're dreaming about? A beggar, a bum is on the side of the road in the Skrilla or something. Suddenly here comes Camancheros, thousands of motorbikes, the Silver Surfer, Thanos, things you're dreaming about. You don't take it serious. They take life very serious, mate. Just like that, you can get shot in America, even in New Zealand. It's just a matter of making a mistake. A mistake of something like what you dream about. You're dreaming about zombies, right? You're dreaming about vampires. So what you dream about is what you get. You're dreaming about the white person is as good as a black person. There's no difference. This is the difference. That's what you don't understand. In order to be heard, you must be seen. In order to be seen, you need to be available. But that's the ancient world. Yeah, New Zealand is probably making hundreds of billions. But economics, they don't have brains. Well, they don't have enough brains to look at the back of their head, is what I'm trying to tell you. I guess it exists, but it's living with a haunted house. In the daytime with binoculars is a simple advantage, but not easy to afford in an economic world. Economics could be for one person, but if it's for one person, it's not so bad. Even if it's 20,000 years, you've been living for billions of years. So death is nothing. If it's inevitable, so do it. You know what I mean? Do it, you know what I mean? You can't do it, isn't it? Without the money. Then it can't be one person. Well, if it's supposed to be educated, well then that's not educated. Educated is somebody that's got something that doesn't exist. Could be gifted, but not as gifted as your local Ninja Turtles, which you're underestimating. Like so many places in the universe, they underestimate the Africans, or they underestimate coconuts. So you underestimate your opponent. Like so many places in the universe, so many people, they underestimate these Africans, you know what I mean? They underestimate the power of democracy, mate. Hypocrisy and stuff, you know. They're uneducated. Is the greatest weapon, mate. You can learn English, economics, commerce. Is a commerce world. If you're on Wall Street, it's no different from Wall Street if you're selling tomatoes and African stuff in Africa. It's no different from Wall Street. They could be connected. Well, with Africans, get your facts straight, mate. You're going to be a different African, not the same African, which you can't understand. They all look the same. So if there's nothing special, then it could be God. But who cares if it's God? When the jungle has law and order. God is just a humble white man. He makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Yeah, but do you make mistakes or you put poison in the water? Which some people think is clever. But if you poison yourself, so now who's the master? You poison yourself. Now you enslave yourself. Now your philosophy can't work in the economic world. Because that's the ancient world. This is the modern world. Where technology is not your friend. You're messing with cartels, biker gangs, Mexicans, you know what I mean? 18th Street, MS-13, Sopranos, the mob, American stuff, which don't work in a society that's based on one person. Doesn't work if you got a memory problem. Then you can't be even trying to work with somebody that's hurting people. Probably everybody quit their job. They must have checked, yeah, there's a tsotsi, mate. Yeah, but with those people, it's better to be available or something. Or anything like that. It can't work in the economic world. Whether it's my parents' generation or anybody's generation. It can't work if it's criminals. Then, did you find your lighter? I don't have your lighter. Yeah, but that's another episode. That's what I'm calling that shit. Just I said, you're having an episode. Get me the fuck out of here, nigga. You're having a fucking episode, mate. Which the person can't understand. If you having an episode, haven't seen an episode of the Headhunters, so that means you're better off in the shadow. Yeah, but possibly, $1,000 is too much because you'll have an episode. You know what I mean? How can you say it's one person? Which is baffling. It's a feat of ingenuity. A feat of ingenuity is something my dad does, what I do. From here to TikTok to Dune or Aquaman to anyone is a feat of ingenuity. So why would you waste it on one person? Is a difference with Lion King or The Shadow. You're going for one person. Let's be honest, mate. One person can't change anything, mate. Yeah, but I mean, if it's one person, right? So what's the best thing to do? Face the monster or avoid the monster? Some people avoid. Other people face the monster. Not everyone's the same. Yeah, but being rude or being the leader is different. Threatening or hurting people is a different boil up, a different type of meat. If human flesh, pork, right? That's pork. Is the closest cousin is a pig. A white pig is different from the other pig. You didn't even know. Motherfucker said it's pork. That's what I heard. Well, that's going to be money. Yeah, but the closest cousin to human flesh is pork. Jesus Christ, and you're still eating that shit. Jesus, mate, you should be eating bananas, mate. And fish, mate, can eat shit. And then you eating fish, which I guess for islands, just a few meters of water, mate, could be hundreds of billions of dollars in the modern world. If the closest cousin to flesh is pork, do you really think somebody's not out there dicing people? If you can't tell the difference between the ancient world or the modern world, an important African that you shouldn't mess around with, somebody that everybody knows is bad news, or you got no job, no children, not even a shadow or something. Shadow, everything got a shadow. Dinosaurs got a shadow. Government has a shadow. Mongrel mob's shadow. Headhunters' shadow. The shadow of Illuminati, which could be a secret society, which possibly is dangerous. But how many things are dangerous? Going to work is dangerous. Drinking water is dangerous. Eating raw fish is dangerous. Eating KFC with Colombians is dangerous. Niggas with dicks are dangerous. Bitches are dangerous. Jumping the bus is dangerous. Messing with Skrilla is dangerous. Going to the baker is dangerous. It's not supposed to be dangerous. But yeah, they're dangerous. But are they? Or are they wimps? Which is American shit. But I'm not a wimp. Everyone just thinks you're a wimp. Nah, bro. Because you're forcing people. It's a difference between a leader, a dolphin, a dog. If it's evolution, makes sense, right? than saying something that doesn't exist for billions of years. So the way I see it, they live like that for billions of years until the immune system, the modern world, if it's a secret society, then why would you watch one person? Well, that I want to get paid. Well, I want a girlfriend. Well, a nice girlfriend. Well, I'm already on the job, mate. Which is something different than have it to yourself. Have it to yourself, because if it's one person, then it doesn't make sense. They don't say, who are you talking to? Well, you could be talking to a ghost. You could be talking to a dinosaur. Well, that's how bad it is. But if it's one person, then you live in the UK, right? With American shit. So then don't be expecting one person. Well, unless, if I'm incorrect, that's an episode. Is what I call that shit. I'll be like, you having an episode? I'm going to Newland or something. If they're having an episode, then I guess it works, but does it work on a society that doesn't exist? A society with predators, sexual predators. You're trying to tell me nothing bad happened. So then don't get involved. Getting involved is my job. It's not the job of the brains. The muscle is different. The muscle's job, the job of the vampire, is supposed to pay for that shit. You got to earn your benefit or earn your groceries, not force the foreigners or force islanders or force women. Of course, something horrible happened. So that means he hates women. So then it could be dangerous. But like a court case, so why would you worry about remand if it's a prison, right? Or a tanifa? So why would you want to come creep and from all places, kicking down people's doors? So if you're suffering, you're struggling, but it's a different currency. You can't always struggle. Not if you've got a vampire or something behind your back or something. You know what I mean? Which it can't be outside the garage door and at work and at the liquor store and in the water. Then it doesn't exist. Then you might as well enjoy yourself. Well, that's an episode, right? So then if it's an episode, not an episode of that shit doesn't exist in New Zealand. Well, how can it exist in a society for criminals, right? So you're supposed to smoke. So some people want to smoke, right? Do you see what I mean? Some people want to drink. Well, I want to smoke. Well, I wouldn't mind a bag of yellow monkey or something and some prostitutes and islander girls and Lamborghinis and diamonds, which is your downfall, mate. Which I guess if you don't do it, then people think you're all shit. They think you're a failure. You know what I mean? Children think you're a failure. The police, the system, people think you're a failure. You got no Lamborghinis. You don't have diamonds. You live in an African world. A world with hundreds and millions of Africans outnumber Indians greatly. Because they're a type of colored person. Which if you live in that world, will you stop? You'll never stop, mate. If a woman is going for $1, will a man stop that shit? Did Jesus stop that shit? Did anything stop that shit? Nothing stopped that shit. I don't even stop that shit. So how can you stop something which is your nature? Unless it's something dangerous, right? So why do you need to be sober? There's a difference between a patch member and a prospect, a president or a leader, which means it's more intricate. Which if it's intricate, it could be something from the ancient world, but I want to get paid, which is the only thing that makes sense in the modern world, which is that far from the ancient world, which the person probably is trying to go for Star Wars, Star Trek, you know what I mean? Something that must levitate, it's impossible, which is not allowed, because then the whole universe comes after you. They tried that shit on the foreigners, you know what I mean? Get some skinny white girls. Then you're chasing down the Maori people. That's why he's growing up with Africans. That's probably why he's growing up like that. Well, I mean, if it's one person, then who's the champion? So then what's the point of being the champion, right? Because that's muscle. Brains is different. It could be a lecture of the future. Whether it's 20,000 years or in the next life, it seems like it's inevitable, right? The sooner you live in this world is the day you conquer the universe, is the day you can try to be like a colored person, not an African, which is different. Different types of ants. You got ants that are for fighting, ants for murdering, different things, laboratories, technology, things like our government doesn't listen to you. Things Africans don't think about. You have to think about something you don't think about. Then you've caught this motherfucker. Then you caught yourself because you're not thinking about water, yogurt, things you're not thinking about, which is the problem with Star Wars. They're thinking about something that's too important. So if it's a bus stop, you have your episodes. Well, that you got your episodes of Sopranos, Diablos, episodes on TV, episodes on the internet. You're avoiding the white person. You're avoiding those people. As long as you avoid the problem, then it will never be solved. Well, it won't be solved in a Dominion or Hawkins or Sensation or Alloy Yachts, because I grow up with boats. So if there's a leak on the boat, you have to repair the leak. If the boat is going to sink, the PlayStation is broken, then nobody can help you. If it's broken, then you have to listen to the boss. If it's broken, not at the bitter end. With something that's broken, it could be sabotage. It could be a secret society. It could be something so dangerous that you can't do without technology. Technology can be your best friend, or it can be what you're dreaming about. How many white people dream about it? Just as much as colored people. So probably for white people, they think we're racist or something. There's no fucking nigger freedom and shit like that allowed anywhere in this world, mate. Will you stop that shit? Who's probably got a better life than you? Well, do you want to stop that shit with so many girls with bums like that? It's a dream or something of some white man who's dead. So why should I even listen, mate? If the person is dead, why are you listening to a dead person? With a book? A book of all things. Well, what book is never compared to the Bible? But I mean, if it is the modern world, then in the modern world, it could be a billion problems. Criminals, they're like young children with no brains, but not at the bitter end. The bitter end could be another problem, which is an episode, which could be an episode of somebody dangerous, which you need to take serious. But before you take serious, you need shotgun shells, groceries, preparation, planning, which is just another day in Nigeria, just another day in Zimbabwe, another day in America, another day with 50 Cent, like another day in Dawn Raid, another day with the Comancheros, another day in the Headhunters. All over the universe, they throw themselves at something they don't understand because of a lot of reasons. They want to be famous, they want money, they want groceries or something. You just got to keep on telling the person it's junk. Sometimes the junk that's under your nose is worth trillions of dollars because it's under your nose, behind your back. It could be anything. It could be something dangerous. But if you don't take it serious, then you answer to the higher power, which probably just wants to live in the ancient world, which, to be honest, could be millions of years ago, billions of years. But if you're not interested, then you need to take everything serious. Well, some person could... How many comics? You see a comic with some white boy on a BMX, some white person, that's how they look. And then you see some sort of vampire, somebody that's trying to send a message, but you don't take the subliminal message and you either choose the other options, which can't work out if it's one person. So who's this one person? Well, whoever the one person is, it could be a billion reasons. Could be something dangerous, could be Chinese soldiers. Maybe they got robots, mate. You live in the modern world. You can do those sort of things. In China, mate, Japan and those places. Well, I mean, if the person is deluded, right? He's probably on drugs. With drugs, even the birds know drugs. With drugs, I'm trying to tell you, can buy birds. Well, if you're worried about skinny white girls, then it doesn't make sense. You can't finish with skinny white girls. But that's another episode, because you have episodes. Well, then everyone should have an episode. You take the risk. If the children take a risk, I'm taking a risk. Maoris take a risk. You take the fucking risk. You already taking a risk going to sleep of fucking niggas with dicks like that. You still try to say we mad. So who's taking the bigger risk? Is the difference between the champion or the brains is all different. Eyes, brains, nose are all relevant to trillions of things. You just got to accept it. The sooner you accept it exists is the day you can do something. But trying to do something is different from not doing something. Just sitting on your ass or trying to talk about it, or is totally different in this ball game. This ball game is doing something. Well, something for money, at least that makes sense. Without money, then you can't pay your groceries. You can't feed your children. You can't catch the bus. You can't be a scrub. Well, you can't be jerking off when there's 1 million Russian soldiers with robots. Are you still going to be jerking off? Well, then play something like a real headhunter or a real gangster, mate. Then we'll see Man from Mouse. You'll probably see everybody run away. Well, possibly it exists, but accepting is part and parcel easy for a lot of people, but not everyone. Not everyone can accept. But yeah, you have your episodes of Diablos. You got episodes of Shortland Street, episodes of shit that a foreigner's not supposed to watch. You got all sorts of things of yours. Well then, damn, shouldn't the empire have some dedication, mate? Some good-looking foreigner, at least, mate, can imagine what's happening, mate. A man with children, mate, can jump out of your skin. At least that's funny. So maybe there's still hope. Well, the dancing woman is gone. But how many neighborhoods have a dancing woman? How many places in America got problems? How many neighborhoods in New Zealand got a celebrity like Skrilla or a John or something? So many places got videos. It's all about the brains. It's different from being in control. Control of yourself. How many people on TikTok? How many people smoking and willing to listen to the Pailangis and listen to the Pakia, mate, without listening to the Ninja Turtles, mate? It sounds stupid, but yeah, it could be anything, mate. Could even be an army of Terminators. Well, unless you're blind. With Indians, that's the first thing that make you blind, deaf. You don't watch TikTok. Is the difference between telling someone they're stupid, at least they understand. Then they'll realize, oh, I'm stupid. But yeah, it happens all over Africa. All over Africa, they throw things at Africans without understanding. Africans are the majority in the world. They're more than everybody. You live in an African world. If you can't live with Africans, then don't throw at Lion King. Don't throw at our people. Because, yeah, you're not important, but to Africans, you're important, which probably happens all around the universe. But accepting is like a white person accepting they're defeated. Well, you obviously will be defeated. 600 million Africans that are coloreds, 700 million Chinese. You need 800 million Indians, white men. You're your worst nightmare yourself, mate. Which probably happens all around the white world. They think they got the numbers. Yeah, but numbers don't constitute for quality. Education don't constitute for movement. And being a gangster is different from a rapper. A rapper sings about it. We live about it. It's different from being alive or somebody that wants to be in the shadow. The shadow is endless. But yeah, that's another episode for drug addicts, real gangsters, people in a secret society. You've got no choice. But yeah, it happens all over New Zealand. All over New Zealand, people throw themselves at Maori people, or they throw themselves at Polynesians without realizing the brains, the muscle, the power is all different. Even if it's behind you, it could be anything, mate. If you live without technology, then it could be anything. It could be something that shouldn't exist. Well, then that's an episode, mate. Well, you have to be working to earn the benefit. You have to be working to vote. Whether it's the Shadow, Labour, National, Green Party, Maori Party, it happens. Happens in New York, happens in Canada, happens in Zimbabwe, happens in Jamaica. The foreigners come, the foreigners take over, block off the cut-off zone. You can't remember. Well then, that's another episode, mate. But probably the spicy people, mate, which is probably billions of years old, but not as old as inhabitants of the world. It seems to be culture, mate, which you should learn instead of throw yourself, which happens all over the world. People throw themselves at Africans, mate.